His love for you didn't start the moment you trusted him or the moment you were born. It started way back in eternity. The word everlasting, you know what it means? You know, there's times when I thought I should end my sermon here because some of these things are way above me. But he says that we might have power. This is the fourth one. Power together with all the saints to grasp how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ. And get this, and to know this love that surpasses knowledge. How do you know what you can't know? He's wrestling with this too. He's praying that we would know how long and high and wide and deep is the love of Christ, that we would know it. And the word know there is experience. It's not a head knowledge. The word know there is an experiential knowledge of this love, that we would grasp and be able to experience God's love. Know that you're loved like that. That's what he's trying to say. It's interesting because it's hard to do without all the saints. We need each other. He says one of the ways you grasp it is together with all the saints. And as you think about this and work it through a little bit in the Bible, it makes me think about what does this actually look like? And when I thought about how wide this love is, I thought of the book of Revelation, because the book of Revelation is all about the width of God's love. It really is. We looked at Revelation chapter 7 a couple of weeks back. Let me take you to Revelation chapter 5, verses 9 and 11. Listen to what he says. They were singing in heaven a new song. You are worthy to take the scroll and to open its seals, because you were slain, and with your blood you purchased people for God from every tribe and language and people and nation. You've made them to be a kingdom and priests to serve our God, and they'll reign on the earth. Then I looked and I heard the voice of many angels numbering thousands upon thousands and 10,000 times 10,000. They encircled the throne, the living creatures, in a loud voice they sang, "Worthy is the Lamb," and so on. That's the width of God's love. It just encompasses everybody, even angels, millions and millions and millions of angels. The width of God's love. You want to know about the width of God's love? Read the book of Revelation. And I find that very encouraging today. With all the bad news in the world, I thought about this coming in today, that in every nation, in every country, in every tribe, people are gathering together today to sing songs to the Lord, to listen to his word, and to pray the prayer that the Lord taught us to pray. Everywhere on this planet, that's happening today. That's the good news. That's the width of his love. And then he talks about how long it is, the length of it. And you could think of Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 3, where he says, I have loved you with an everlasting love. God has loved you with an everlasting love. His love for you didn't start the moment you trusted him or the moment you were born. It started way back in eternity. The word everlasting, you know what it means? It means to the vanishing point. In your head, go back as far as you can, and at some point you can't go any further back. The everlasting is to the vanishing point, way back there. He's loved you from then, and he loves you now. It began in eternity. It continues in time. His love, and Ken up here when he was leading worship basically said this, it never changes. There's no interruptions in it. Never gives up, never lets go, never despairs of us. And it carries us on into eternity, into everlasting after everlasting, into eternity. That's the length of God's love. And then the depth of his love. I think you see that in Philippians chapter 2. That's where you have Jesus equal with God, and yet leaving that and coming to earth as a man, humbling himself as a man, and then going further down to the very cross and to death on the cross, where he carried the weight of the sin of the world and the wrath of God. The author of life, the creator of everything, now dead in a grave. That's how deep the love goes. Why did he do that? Simply because he loved us. It's the only answer the Bible gives. And then you have the height. And that height, I think that expresses God's ultimate purpose for us as Christians. He's raised us up. He's given us new life. We were dead, now we're alive, and he seated us with Jesus in heaven. And one day we'll literally be there, and he's gonna take these bodies and glorify them. They'll be like his own body. That's the height of God's love, taking someone like you and me that have no right to even be here today, and one day giving us a body like his own and seating us with him in heaven. That's love. Paul says, I want you to get it. I'm praying that you'll understand how long you've been loved, that you'll understand there's nobody you know beyond that love of God. I want you to know you have a future and a hope. And I want you to know that Christ went to the very bottom of everything to be able to save you for eternity. Paul says that the magnitude of this love surpasses our ability to comprehend it. But nevertheless, he prays that we'll have a more profound grasp of it, and it will serve as bedrock security for us in our lives. The kind of love that God shows us is far more than a deep, stirring feeling in our hearts. It's expressed in his loving actions toward us, giving his son, letting his son die in our place, purifying us, saving us, bringing us near to him, preparing us for eternity. That's the kind of love we're talking about.